Hello everybody, Patrick Glenn Nichols, Muscle Car Barn Finds, and today I'd like to share with you a really cool 1970 Chevelle SS454 LS5 4-speed that I was able to make a purchase on. The car recently surfaced in North Carolina. It has been parked since about 2004. Some work had been done to get the car back up going and on the road. It does run and drive, and I was able to make a purchase on this car recently. Really cool car. It's been sitting a long time, but it's really nice car. I wouldn't call it rust free, but it's very low rust, and it's matching engine, transmission, rear axle, and the build sheet is present. So you just don't find cars much better than this. So I'll go around the car the best I can and show my viewers exactly what has been hidden for all of the 15 years or so. I know I have a lot of people that are interested in the 70 Chevelle. It definitely is my main area of expertise. So here we go. As you can see, it's code 25 Astro Blue, upper and lower. It did not have cal induction, therefore it does not have RPO code D88 hood and deck stripes. It definitely would, standard, if it had the cal induction hood. But since this car was ordered and they opted not to have the cal induction hood, he also opted not to have the D88 hood and deck stripes. Therefore it would have the standard SS hood and be solid in color. So here we go. You can see somebody put some fairly new radial tires on this side to get the car where it can operate and function. Maybe a little bit of rust, very little at the bottom of this fender. You can see the Super Sport emblems on this fender are spot on. A lot of times they are off, drilled off, and they are attached with the speed nut to the back side, which is correct. A lot of times when they're removed, there's a lot of trouble to take down the inner fender and put those back on correctly with the speed nut. So a lot of times a body shop or somebody will give me those little ferrules that just push the emblem through and they hold them pretty good, but that's definitely not correct. I actually have a car too, or I've owned a few cars that had the emblems on there like that. You can see the door is pretty much rust free. Somebody had taken most of the interior out of this car to check the floor pans for rust. The floor pans in this car are pretty much mint. You can see there's a little bit of rust coming around the wheel well here on the driver's side. But all in all, for a fully documented SS454 4-speed car, this is a really nice find. They definitely come with U14 tach gauges, and you can also see the provision for the rear window defroster, which would be RPO code C50. And as you can see, the interior is pretty much in pretty much bad shape, pretty much trash. But whoever buys this car, of course, the main ingredients, the potential is here. Anybody can replace and work on interior and those types of parts. You can't find original engines and original build sheets and things like that, but we can work on interiors and other missing parts. Car does have a Tennessee drive out tag, which is mine. I've already made the purchase to this car, of course. The rear bumper looks to be in really good shape. Pretty much zero rust in the trunk area. And I have the build sheet positioned here for you to view and review. So for us to review, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. April the 16th, 13637, 756, black bucket seats. You see the 2.5 for the Astro Blue. Door edge guards, floor mats. You can see the 331 ratio, posi traction G80, and the LS5 454 and the M22. M40 power steering, and back over here to the C50 rear window defroster. Electric clock, heavy duty battery, U14 gauges, customer order, and the pamphlet to the original Protecto plate is present, which is really neat, and on the opposite side it shows the original dealer, but the actual Protecto plate is not attached to that any longer, and nobody knows what happened with that. It's really neat that the original pamphlet is still present as well. But pretty much, I mean, under the deck lid area, I would call it pretty much rust free. all throughout. Very little, even under the weather stripping. And you can look at the bottom of the deck lid, which always has a lot of rust. Nothing. Really nice car. Now we go down the passenger side. You can see somebody wired it up for a aftermarket incorrect rear antenna, which is definitely incorrect. I, of course, personally would not have done that, but we find what we find and we buy what we buy. So that's part of it. I say the rust on this side is even less than even on the driver's side. Pretty nice car here. You just don't find LS5 4-speed Chevelles any longer that are totally matching. The door rubs a little bit on this side, which will take some attention. The interior, again, is pretty much needs a lot of attention. It's got the old 80s style tape player, which is pretty common for a car been sitting a long period of time. So this car really hasn't had any upgrades probably in over 30-35 years or any attention, and just recently surfaced, and I was able to make a purchase on this car. And we have a little rust at the bottom of this fender, but again, the SS454s are spot on. The Kansas City, Missouri assembly plant would have had Malibu emblems in the door panels. There's no emblems at all in the door panel emblems on this car. Looks like it took a little ding right there, but all in all, a really nice car. And I will back up again and let you see the car in its entirety. A really solid looking car. I can tell you, because I do this all day, every day, and I search the entire country for these cars. Nothing is more sought after and easier to sell or to find a new home than a 70 SS454 4-speed. The LS5 may be a little easier than the LS6 because it is a little more affordable and it has a larger market. So this car probably is one of the easiest cars to market and find a new home probably on the planet. So really cool car here. A lot of people would like to have this car. A really good find. So now I will sit in this car and we'll see if we can get it to turn over and start. It did earlier. So, but you know how these cars are. They have the mind of their own sometimes, so we'll see what we can do. Here we go. Walk around now with the car running and show you under the hood maybe. It does have new exhaust. Reverse lights are on. Let me tell you why that is. Anytime the column is up where it should be for the reverse lockout, they will be on. So if you shift it back down, it'll be off. You can see they're off. So the reverse lockout mechanism is no longer present on this car. So if you want your reverse lights to come on, you have to manually spin the column and they will work. So let me show you under the hood. It is what it is. That is the matching 454 LS5 engine. Correct. Metal inner fenders, and I will turn the car off. I will shut the car off now so you can hear me. The main thing I wanted to do is show you guys that the original engine of this car runs well, purrs. So just a quick glance, we got the Edelbrock 2.0, which is a more of a modern day 2 upgrade. It does have the correct alternator bracket. It has a radiator out of an automatic, as you can see the plugs where they're plugged off for the automatic cooling lines. That is the incorrect radiator shroud, cooling shroud, that is correct. Incorrect, and this washer jar is incorrect. It should be squared like we've been over before. But we have correct 1970 valve covers for the TCS provisions. They are there. And for the most part, it is, you see, what you see is what you get here. Let's do a little review of the cow tag, which I always try to do for you. 13637, we know we got a two-door hardtop here. In 70, we got Kansas City, Missouri, like I mentioned earlier. I believe the body number to this car is 911435. 756, black bucket seat interior, really popular car here. Astro blue, lower and upper. 04C for the build date. Again, I own a 04A, which is red with red inside. M22 LS5 like this car. And then the infamous L. Of course, the other digits there, the 01464. It's data processing numbers for the Kansas City, Missouri assembly plant, like we've been over, and they don't really mean anything to us. We have an incorrect horn on this side and a correct horn on this side. But all in all, there's just really not many cars out there that will have more potential than this car. I mean, it's a solid Provenance car. You don't get a car much more solid than this car. 1970 Chevelle SS454 4-speed. Again, it's probably one of the easiest cars and the most sought after cars on the planet, and this is one of them. It has been hidden since 2004. It has now come out from hiding. The engine runs good, the transmission, all of the mechanical parts of the car have been looked at, tires, exhaust, and I can drive away in it. So I made a purchase on the car. I really thank you for watching this video. This is one of my more, nicer as far as running and driving finds. This is not considered a barn find that's actually in a barn, but it's definitely fits under the umbrella of a barn find because it's been hidden X amount of years, and it is definitely a popular car, one of the most popular. So I appreciate all your comments and participation on my page. If you need assistance with your 1970 Chevelle SS authenticating and you are interested in my endorsement, you may contact me at pnichols26 at Yahoo or Patrick Glenn Nichols Muscle Car Barn Finds on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching the video of this unbelievable 70 Chevelle Astro Blue, Kansas City, Missouri assembly plant, LS5 matching front to rear. Thanks again. More videos on the way.